Hey everyone, how's your day been so far? All good, I hope. Yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey, long time no hear or see. What you been up to?
You know,
Think,
holiday season here in the States, so family. Well, I shouldn't say that because technically not supposed to see family,
oh really? Okay.
according to well, they don't want large gatherings because of COVID.
Ah, okay,
So I
okay.
was not at a gathering with family.
No, that's okay. We've only just gone live, so that bit won't be in there.
Oh, nice. Man, I seen your screenshot, Alex. You freaking killed it, man. Jesus.
Yeah,
Told my
yeah,
friends about it. I was
yeah.
like, man, there's this guy in this morning call I go to, this Forex group. This guy just destroyed last week.
It's, it's funny when
How
you
much
have
money do you
when.
make?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good when you make some money. You don't know what to do with yourself. That's the thing. It's quite funny. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'm a bit lost. I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Should I be here? Should I trade? Should I just take Christmas off? Like, extend
Oh, you
Christmas?
could take the year off.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's what I was saying to people. Like, in terms of money management, you need to understand and appreciate that when you're making some money, break it down and keep it real and say, okay, what was I living off before? £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month. What was paying the bills? Um, you don't all of a sudden need to be living off £5,000 a month if you were living off £2,000 a month.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've treated yourself before, Like I
Yeah,
said,
you do. Yeah,
I always
you
hear
do
it's good
that.
to pay yourself.
Yeah, you pay yourself in
Take
kind.
a little bit.
Yeah, pay yourself in kind. Pay yourself
Hmm.
in. Yeah, that's it. Um, yeah, that's it. That's what you should do. At best. So yeah. Um, let's put. I've just connected this up to the. I've just connected this up right now to YouTube as well. Let's
Oh, very nice.
get that out there as well. So yeah, we tried to look at shorting gold a little bit further, but it came down to the 50%, and you see it tested it 4 times over a 24-hour period, and it just wasn't having it. 65 is a 50%, so it was going long to 1800. I think people were looking and calling it for 1800, and as it got to 1800, it smashed on up through that level. So yeah, well done all those that shorted, and well done all of those that took it the other way as well, because yeah, it just takes some doing. Gold's been good though. Gold has been generally pretty decent to trade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the US Open, which is in about an hour. I think we have some news as well, if I'm right. Uh, let's see the news. Tuesday, 1:30. So we have some Canadian GDP news. And Powell, Fed Chair Powell speaking at 3 o'clock. So that is in just under 2 hours. And there is the manufacturing PMI as well for the US at 3 o'clock as well. So there's some news. There's some news at 3 o'clock. So the market's open at 2:30 London time, which is 9:30 New York time. And then at 10 o'clock New York time, 3 o'clock London time, we have some new US news. So that will make stuff happen, no doubt. Right, good. Let's put some stuff on there. Okay? So YouTube is. How does that work? Okay. Good. So that's on. And
Hey, Alex.
yeah, how you doing?
Good, good, thanks. Good. How you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
I couldn't get into anything today this morning. I just couldn't. I took a long on the footsie, and and I didn't hold it, and it's gone up beautifully to my trend line.
Ooh, yeah.
6,300 to 6,400. It was pretty no-brainer, really.
Yeah, wow. That was a nice trade.
It's annoying when that happens, and yeah, I just wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, so and gold, I cashed out. I did take some longs this morning on gold, but I didn't hold them either. And I took some longs on the Dow Jones, and I didn't hold them either. Well, I did. I took them up to like 30,000, but as they sort of spiked up, I just closed everything down, and that was it, done. But it was just bits and pieces. It was a bit scrappy. It wasn't quality trading where you just get in, put some positions on T1, T2, set your risk stop loss. It was all a bit rough, and I don't know why. But yeah, there you go. So I thought, okay, let's take a break, go and do stuff, and then we'll come back and see if we can get some bits done, do some bits, make some bag some pips, bag some percentage. So what I'm going to do is let's shift this over here. Look at this. This is the Dow. Not the Dow. This is the FTSE. This is nice. That's the range on the FTSE. So we had this initial pump, first day of the month. So I was thinking, will indices see at the start of the month a bit of a push up, because last night into the European session and the European close, end of the month, profit taking. Positions were closed, so 4:30 London time is when the FTSE cash market closes, so you can no longer buy stocks and shares, and so that closed, so there was profit taking into the close. And then this morning at the start of the London session, so from around 8 o'clock London time, it basically pumped it back up. So we put some fibs on there, and we looked at where it would likely come up to, some previous structure. 6,400 was the target. I put a trend line on there and could see that tied in quite nicely. Also 61.8 tied in quite nicely. 6,400 round number tied in quite nicely. Three confluences to target up to, and also to short off. It just makes sense. Sometimes things just move really nicely, just in terms of the profile, in terms of profiling. So when you're looking at market profile, so looking at what are the indices doing? Are they bullish, bearish? It was quite clear, quite apparent this morning that there was just markets rallying and pushing up. So that's quite nice. As a chart, that's nice.
That's an interesting thing to know. I didn't think of that. The end of the month, that's why it would drop, because people are taking profits, and then everyone's ready to go.
Yeah, so we always talk about I think the theme for this last, well, maybe we'll take it right up to Christmas. The theme over the last few weeks has been common sense. We'll just use a lot of common sense and just have a think about why things are moving. And in terms of fundamentals, I think people maybe put too much emphasis on figures, on data that comes out. So like we wait for the news to be released, like non-farm payroll, for example, on Friday, and we'll wait for those figures, and we'll see how those numbers are factored in or accounted for in the stock markets, how it's reflected on gold, stuff like that. But fundamentally, we don't have to always look at the data. What I tend to do is not try and rack my brain trying to make sense of those numbers, because they're all over the shop sometimes. People will often say, or you may often hear, why is that market going up when the numbers were bad? And you think, well, someone will just say, because it's factored in, and then you'll have a report come out by some analyst, a few hours later or so, or the next day, write about why such and such happened. And it's like, well, it's no good to anybody. And so what we tend to do is focus on fundamentals in terms of, okay, use some common sense. Why would gold sell off? Why would it break 1,800? Why would we see a drop? Why did we see a drop a couple of Mondays ago when they announced vaccine, a cure for cure for this virus? Why was it such a big deal? So then you just use your common sense and think, okay, gold fell over, the stock market's rallied, so the institutions were moving their money around, taking profit on gold, because it's no longer a safe haven that they need to, don't need to put the money into there. They can take some profit off it, etc., etc. So it's common sense. That have to use common sense sometimes. And when we talk about fundamentals, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the bigger picture. If Trump tweets and he says he's going to go and invade a country with, say, they're going to go to war somewhere, how's that going to affect the stock markets? So if you see the stock markets going down, you'll be like, okay, it's going down because of that piece of news, etc., etc. And then if you was to draw down to certain sectors within the stock market, if that's your kind of thing, and you were looking at maybe, I don't know, Starbucks or Subway, because they always have, they always contract out. War is big business, right? Big money. These soldiers, they can pretty much, especially the American soldiers, they have access to Starbucks or Subway, or there are always these contractors going out and supplying them with bits and pieces. Because the other soldiers, like the British troops, will always be looking at the American troops and thinking, "Wow, let's get in on some of that," And it's like that. It's big money, So again, you're just using your common sense to kind of understand why things happen, and not try and make sense of why the number was below 50, and so that should make the market go down, but then it goes up, and you think, well, that doesn't make sense, because that often doesn't make sense. In all my years, I've never been able to kind of say, oh, okay, that's because of that. Unless of course the number is...
Felix?
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm home. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. DBFX, your mic's on. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, just always use common sense to understand what's going on and try and make sense of it that way. Unless the numbers are, if a number's supposed to be 1 million people out of work and it comes in at 2 million, then expect there to be a reaction, because it's clearly completely different to what they forecast. But otherwise, if the numbers are very close and it's not, it comes in line pretty much with the forecast, don't expect there to be too much of a reaction, or try and over-analyse it. Okay, so this is the FTSE. Let's have a look at the Dow quickly. I'm going to look at the Dow at the open at 2:30. That was a 1 hour on the FTSE. This is a 1 hour on the Dow. Keeps coming up to 30k. I have a 76.4 key fib area just above there, sitting at around 30,040, so that's interesting. So perhaps we will see the US traders come in an hour's time, and if we have a bit of a pullback, it may be an opportunity to buy that dip, thinking that there may be some fresh positions being taken and new money coming in from the institutions. Maybe they'll push this market up. Maybe we'll see some new highs being made on the stock markets. So maybe the first target will be 30,200 to get up to retest the current record high on the Dow, and then perhaps it will eventually start making new highs. Well, but we'll see what sort of correction we have at the moment. So we've had the first pump up this morning during the European session, so maybe we'll see a bit of a correction. So what we do is, if we say that we're looking for a long, this is just standard practice. If we're looking for longs, and we're thinking, okay, price action is bullish bias, I don't want to be taking counter trend trades. I don't want to be shorting this. As appealing as this setup looks, where it's kind of gone up and it's, it looked pretty primed for a decent drop, I'd rather go with the trend. So if markets are trending on a particular day, or they're not range bound, or they're clearly showing some direction, then I'll be focusing on that direction primarily, and so waiting for markets to drop back and buy the dip basically. So if we do this on,
Nasdaq is also reaching for a new high too.
yeah, you're on that, aren't you? The Nasdaq
Yeah, I've been on it for quite a few weeks. I've been on.
since 1985, right?
Um, just below the 11 and a half or 11,400 thereabouts, and then it went into a bit of drawdown, then profit, then drawdown and profit, and then I knew it was eventually going to.
Sure.
Um,
I meant 1985 as in the year. Right. So yeah, let's see what the next leg gives us. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a drop back. So I'm going to use a 15-minute time frame, and I'm going to look for price action to give us a pullback. And if we get to say somewhere like 29,800, optimistically, or maybe it'll just test previous structure. Maybe that'll be a great buy. Alternatively, we can drill down again, and so we're focusing on that last major swing. But note here we had this pump up this morning. This was the London Open, and this is what we had, the pump up. So I was looking at some of this. I took some profit, and then it pulled back here, and I got in here as well. And as it just spiked up, I took some profit on that move as well, because it was about 40 to 50 pips. Doesn't look a lot here, but it was quite good. So we can look at the London session. We can look at this first initial pump and put a marker here, because that was a nice little flag formation, where it creates a little bit of a downward channel. It's a bit of a pullback. So push up, and then it flags, slight angle, and then we get another push up. So you could arguably use the 15-minute or the 5-minute, and you could do something like this. So I was going to update all these fibs on these ranges, but I thought I'd do it with you guys. Maybe it might give you a bit of an insight into how we look at the markets. So we can use the 5-minute, because you can see it's already retraced nicely to retest the high. So I'll scrap these lot. This is the good thing about smaller time frames. You'll end up editing and updating and replotting your support and resistance levels on a more regular basis when you use the 5-minute, 15-minute, hourly time frames, for example. Let's get that off. So we delete that, and my focus wants to be on this initial move, because it's clearly the low from about 8:15. Note that London opens at 8, so we had this little bit of a pullback bit down, and then it made its intentions clear. Bit of a liquidity grab, take out any little stops below all of this price action. Anyone who's thinking to go short, thinking it was just going to curl over, can appreciate that. And then we had the pump, and it started at about 15 minutes or so after London had opened. So a bit of initial chop, and then we had a clear direction. So what we do is we can focus on this, and we use maybe a smaller time frame, like a 5 minutes, just to focus on this immediate price action. 29,840 to 30,000, that's about 170 odd pips there, just 170 points. You don't call them pips, you call them points for indices and pips for price increment points, pips for Forex, and points, ticks or points for the stock markets indices. So when someone says, I've taken four ticks off the S&P, it's like 4 points. It's just jargon. It's, yeah, take it all with a pinch of salt. You basically know what that is. You can say 170 pips or 170 points. Doesn't, people know what you're talking about. It's only if you want to sound cool like me, then you probably want to use the right jargon. But apart from that, so yeah, there you go. Let's focus on this pullback, and maybe if we see this initial pump and see it come all the way back to that 76.4 around 880, or if we take out this and go down to 800, maybe that will present another buying opportunity. Again, it just depends how bullish price action is. So we're just we're monitoring this range, and we just want to keep an eye on price action. We just want to see what it wants to do. Buying here is a little bit tricky because we're kind of like in the middle of this range, mid-range. What's to say it won't actually drop lower? You know, anyone who's been trading with Rob and follows Rob, you'll see that he does a thing where he's scaling somewhere like the 50%. So he'll allow it to pull back halfway. Then he'll put some small position here, scale in. If it gets to the 618, he'll scale in again. If it gets to the 764, that's where he puts the bulk of his money. So he could do half a percent here, 0.5% here, 1% here. Stops are always going to be somewhere like down here, down at the lows, and he's you know, wherever this stops, down at, you know, say it comes down to about 76.4. And drops by another 5-10 pips to about 60, and then starts going up, then he'll put his stop just below, tuck it in, and he'll say, right, well, it's a bullish bias on the higher time frames, bullish market, but we'll use a 5-minute or 15-minute to monitor current price action. And he'll say, okay, pull back here, I'll buy it back up like that. That's how he does it, and that's, you know, that's the way to do it. So it's about being patient. You don't jump in here. This is not, you know, it's undecided. What's it going to do? If it's really bullish, really strong, then really it should have already found some structure at 38.2, you know, and made a little N shape, a nice little double bottom, you know, and gone like that. Maybe a little stab down like this, which is great. Maybe take out some stops, but then found some support, you know, and started going back up. But it hasn't. It's broken. So it's potentially saying that there's further downside. The tricky part is that with a trend, you may find that it just ends up going down a little bit, and just as you think, okay, we're going to go short it, it finds support, and all of a sudden it bounces up aggressively, and you're caught short in a market that's bullish. What's the matter? What can you smell? What?
Did you take lemons?
I took a couple out, yeah.
Why?
Because I needed a couple, and I didn't go to the shop. So, you come in to ask me about lemons.
What about I got to go in it?
What about the toilet paper?
At the moment, I'm making. I'm
I'm trying to talk. What's going on? No, I'm not always, but yeah, go on. What's?
not okay about
Yeah, okay, good. Anyway, need a cup of tea, Mum. Cup of tea. What's going on? Sorry, George. What was that? What did you say?
I was just wondering whether you'd already done a gold analysis.
Gold analysis. Well, we analysed it to infinity and beyond yesterday, didn't we? We were stalking it, and
I was just thinking now, given that it's gone.
well, that's yeah. That to me, that's it's not in anywhere. It's in no man's land. It's not. You know what I mean? It's the downtrend has stopped, but we can have a look at it. It has to finish off doing whatever it needs to do. You can't buy it up here. You could have bought it down at 1770 area. You know, when you look at it and you say, where, always ask the question, where's the best place where would be the ideal entry? So if you miss it, don't worry about it. And
After yesterday, remember we were watching it and we really didn't know what to do beyond 74, 75.
yeah,
As soon as it got to, I think, 77, 78, I think we just finished our session and I exited all trades, which was probably a wise thing. I think.
yeah, you said that, but that's because, you know, we had a really good entry. We got in really well, didn't we? So we got in not last week, but the week before, and then it was a case of just being bearish all week and no drama. But you can see there's a fair amount of green, and that wash and rinse kind of movement, you know, where we've had one here and then another big sell-off, kind of we call it a wash and rinse, the kind of movement that you see when it tries to grab some liquidity, stop hunt, big drop, and just catch anyone who's trying to call the bottom of this. People always trying to call tops and bottoms on stock markets. They want to have the most perfect entry, and it's like, well, you know, you can't. The thing you're sacrificing when you're trying to do that is you're sacrificing all your confluences. You're sacrificing all of your kind of safety measures or whatever's part of your strategy. You know, in how you measure risk and all that kind of goes out the window. You're just basically being aggressive because you want perfection, and we're trading probability. We're not trading looking for perfection. Good luck trading looking for perfection, and let me know how that works out. But otherwise, you know, you want to maybe give this a chance to do what it needs to do, and then, look for certain criteria, look for confluences. So people were asking yesterday about EMAs, the exponential moving averages. How are they used, and how do they provide an indication as to what the market is doing? And you can see here that I use the 200s, the 50, and then I have some smaller ones. The white one is a 21 period moving average, and the 8 period moving average, so just over a week's worth of data, and 21 day, 21 periods, and then 50 and 200. So most people know about the 50s and the 200s, and they're exponential. Don't ask me about what's the difference between just a standard MA or EMA, but it's just you can Google stuff like that generally.
I think we may take into consideration the most recent prices.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I you can see the 50 was providing some really good when the 50 and the 21 and the 8 and all of these are moving like this. It just helps provide some really good resistance. We basically say, as a rule of thumb, that if price is below the EMAs, it's bearish. If price is above, it's bullish. And so that's what we were looking at here. It was just sitting on it above here on the 1 hour, but under the 200. This is like they call this croc jaw, a crocodile's jaws, where you don't really want to be trading because it's in amongst the support and resistance, and it's still thinking about what it wants to do. Is it going to go breaking above and start using the EMAs as support, or is it going to fully break down and use it all as resistance? And so you kind of then have to wait. And this is what we talk about in terms of what sort of a trader are you? You know in yourself how you are as a trader. Are you quite a cautious trader? I don't mean scared. That's just lack of experience and fear of the unknown. But are you quite cautious, or are you quite aggressive, or are you a swing trader, day trader, scalper? And just again understand how you want to trade, what you enjoy trading, and then take it from there. And so then you'll find that I use things like this as added confluence, as added, just as a way of gauging the market. So once we've broken down here, we're bearish, and this just keeps tapping the 8. The 8 kind of keeps me in the game. At the most at the extreme, we're looking at say the 20 when we're coming down, 21, 20 or 21, up to you. Keep bouncing, tapping, and then we sort of flattened out a bit here. But felt like there was still more to the downside. So that's how the EMAs are used. And then you see here, EMAs can be used in conjunction with these trend lines. So we could put, I did this yesterday, I'll do it now. This is interesting. Gold. We were consolidating here yesterday. So on this small range here, if you're using a 15-minute or a 5-minute, you could do something like this, or 1 hour even, and you could just pull your trend line across, and then you'll see the price action that some people may be more comfortable trading, so they're more inclined to do the whole break and retest kind of price action.
Turn this bloody thing off, it stinks.
It's nice, it's good for me, I don't mind.
Levels you've got there on the right hand side.
Thanks. Levels. The levels on the right hand side, what these pivots, they're pivot.
Yeah, I can't read them because I'm looking at it on a laptop and it's more
Pivot points.
pivots.
Yeah, pivot points. So we have your base pivot, where it's a formula where it takes yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and yesterday's closing price. So it take the highest point, the lowest point, and then the closing point. So those three numbers might be something like, I don't know, 18. What was yesterday? I think it was like 1789, wasn't it? 1789. or 83, even 84. So it could have been something like 1784, and the low was like then 1765 or whatever it was, and then where it closed at midnight. This is London, so these are London floor pivots. So you can have them set for US close as well, New York floor pivots, which may differ. You get those three numbers, you add them together and divide by 3 to get the mean average. So it's
Right.
so that one high plus the low plus the close, divide it by 3, gives you the mean, and that's how these are worked out. And it's done for you, calculated. But you can always manually do it to give you a rough idea. So your base pivot there's your pivot. So then you have S1, S2, S3, which is support 1, support 2, support 3. Then you have resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. And all that does is it kind of helps you gauge how exhausted or how overextended or overbought or oversold a range is. And it's just another confluence which kind of helps you gauge, are we where we broke here perfectly off the pivot area, so we took off from there, and we're now going up to test R3 pivot. So people can trade using the pivots as well to buy and sell off. So I have them on I tend to have them on my 1 hour chart or my 4 hour chart, and it doesn't change. You can have it on a 5 minute chart or a 10-minute chart or any chart. It doesn't change them because it still takes the same figures: the open, the high, the low, and the closing price. I tend to have them on an hour or 4 hour because they're just clearer to see. So if I was to click on there, it gives you the idea of the formula.
Do you actually trade from this chart, or do you trade from MT4?
I trade off my accounts, which are with C Trader, MT4, IG, a couple of different accounts with different brokers.
So you just use this for analysis, yeah?
These are just my charts. This is my charting package, my pro real time charting package with some bells and whistles on. It's all very busy and a bit like the Atari Space Invader type colours, very very dazzling and very can be quite confusing, and maybe you need some sunglasses, or yeah.
Is that subscription based, or is it one-off?
It's proprietary software, so you pay for it and you customize it, and you can add bolt-ons to it to have a few bits and pieces. But again, you don't necessarily need to pay for anything, because it's cool. I just like to have something a bit different. Been using it for a while. I've been using a pro real time charting package for many years. But yeah, so
I use TradingView a lot to do all.
yeah, TradingView's come a long way. I use TradingView just to keep things clean and clear, and don't try and put too much on them, just to kind of highlight. So you'll see quite nicely here on the daily, you'll see why price has bounced off that 65 area, and we discussed this yesterday, didn't we? So we were talking about the last swing low, which was back at the start of the year with the pandemic, and we had the COVID sell-off, and really some of the hedge funds, they sold their positions, liquidated their positions, or diluted their positions in gold, because they needed to balance their books, because they were sustaining hefty losses when the stock markets were selling off, and they had all this money tied up in gold, and so they had to sell off gold as well. So you saw some massive moves, and it was kind of like catching people off by surprise and saying, well, why is this going down when it should be going up? It's a safe haven. But so they cleared out and took some profit, balanced the books, whatever, and then it got bought back up by the dips. It was an opportunity. But that is a clear, as you see, the last swing low is going back to 2018, where we bottomed out around 1100, and then since then we've gone up, huge movement. But that was the last significant pullback. So people were saying, okay, if we focus on that last significant pullback, which is this year, then halfway mark, the 50% comes towards some previous structure where we've had this kind of what you want to call you guys call it an imbalance. This kind of a spike up, and then we have it kind of filled now, fill in the void So it's all been filled, it's all been pulled back and tested. So could this be the start of the move back up? Yeah, it can be. I was thinking if this wasn't the one that they were going to use as the last swing low, then we would take the original one, and that would give us our 38.2, our first major support at around 1725, 1726, which was just another, it's only 400 pips. I mean, what's 400 pips when you're trading gold? You blink, you go make a cup of tea, come back, and it's on 400 pips, you know, no big deal. So yeah, but yeah, it's found some support, and that's why it's 50%. It's acknowledging it, and when you drill down to like a 1 hour, you can see how it's tested this area. We watched it all afternoon, all day, didn't we? We did, didn't we, George? And traded it short. It went retraced. We took that little bit, and then we tried to take some more, and it wasn't doing it, so we left it, and eventually it just broke up, and yeah, there you go. So that's the move. Yeah, so that's where we're at now with gold in terms of looking at gold on a high time frame. Well, it's resetting. It's, you know, for me, it's, do I want to take this short again? Not until I see some bearish candles, and that, even looking at it on like a 4 hour, the way it's curled up, it's very angled, very much to the upside. We're not doing this. We need to see now kind of run out of steam here and consolidate that sort of price action, then see some of this sort of price action bearish. But the way that this has curled up, this has taken out all of that, and so, you know, wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of a pullback or a bit of consolidation, and then have a continuation long. You know, it's got to be allowed to play out now and reset. When you look at that, what do you think?
I think too that on the left there, there's a lot of those imbalances which haven't been sorted out either yet, really.
Yeah. So I mean, even if you were looking at safe money and you thought, okay, this is bullish, let's buy this, we would look at this initial range for an intraday bit of trading. So then we maybe go down to a 30-minute or a 15-minute, and you know, let's reset this. And let's talk about where the high is. Actually, let's probably go to a 1 hour, because there's too much here going on. And let's say this is where it broke out from. So we get some fibs. Fibs are always a good place to start. Plot that on there. Find the low down there, and then look for a 764 retracement. And see if that's anywhere near anything else in terms of confluences, could be trend line support, could be a round number. For me, I was thinking, okay, go long, counter trend move, but it's long for the retracement, and we'd be happy to take this up to somewhere between sort of the 618 and a 764, because we have 1800 as a nice round number, and see how it gets on when it gets to there. So again, you know, looking at the last swing low, and note where I've taken it from, the high 1818, because we were shorting this all last week every time it popped its head up, and we were looking for the break of 1800, and eventually I said to you by Friday it will do it. So Friday we broke, Friday went down, and on Friday, last Friday, the Friday before we started the move, and then for a whole week consolidated. And last Friday we had a lovely move down, and now that's all been taken out, and it continues to go up, and it's, you know, there's people buying this back up. So yeah, so it becomes a bit awkward to buy here. But yeah, I took the last high point of this area. Nothing's come close to this 18. So that's where I plot my fibs. I always want to find the highest peak. If you're looking at a mountain range, try and find the highest peak and use that as your starting point or your reference point. It's no good just picking one of these or that one or I like that one. You know what I mean? Or here you could. Some people will do it from here, from where the move actually started. You could do that as well. There's subjective, trading subjective. There's no right or wrong way. Whatever works for you. Personally, I just feel that one's okay to use, but we're not that far away from this one.
Yeah.
if it wasn't as obvious, I mean, for me that's fairly obvious. Where we've got one high, then we've got the higher high. You can see we're kind of going up, but it is like a mounted range. If you plot some lines here, you've got a diagonal line going up, and then a diagonal line going down. You know, it's kind of up, levels off, double top, then down. So I thought, okay, we'll use that as a starting point. So that's what we're looking at, gold. And you know, if gold can test the highs and break on up, then we would maybe start to look for the fib extensions, which would see price retrace all the way back up to where we had our last short position on, which does have some structure around there as well if we look left on the chart, and that is 1833, that says. So 1834, 1833, 1834, 1835, 36. If I just go back up to the higher time frame and look at what's up there, what have we got up there? There was a bit of, that was our first initial sell-off. That was the first initial move up there, and then it sat there for a little while, and then it started making another move down. So we have got some, we've got some previous structure interest up there around 36. But you know, we'll see. This might just stay range bound. Might just get up to here, and then it might curl over. Just need to see it actually curling over. I'm not going to try and call the top and bottom on this. I'll just wait for it to make its move before I decide what I'm going to do with it. So right now I'm sitting on my hands because there's nothing here for me at all. I can't buy up here, and I can't sell it because it's not giving me any sell signals or any reasons to be getting in, you know. So again, we're just coming back to that same
The
up.
fact that it's broken 764 indicates that, I think you mentioned that we'd need to be wary of the possibility of the reversal of the trend then.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it stalls here, then drops back below the 764, and it gives us some bearish candles, you know, some of these sort of candles where it's consolidating, then you can start looking at the possibility, the prospect of, you know, this basically being a lower high. It hasn't taken out the previous high.
Yeah.
But at the moment it's still going, and it looks quite nice to the upside, and just let it do its thing. If you're not in on this, you just, I don't know, it's very difficult to then try and chase this up.
No, I'm not in on that.
Yeah, so and so until it takes up the high and confirms maybe a trend change or potential for a trend change to the upside, this could still be seen as a good place to take it short again. We could still be bearish and still be, you know, just maybe stay range bound for the next 3-4 weeks, as this will be the new.
Well, if you want to see some bearish candles.
Yeah, this could end up being the new range. See what it does, you know, if it doesn't break. But I mean, it's certainly going for it though. It's not holding back at the moment. Still pushing up. 18. It's about to hit 1812. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what's going on with that. You can appreciate he needed to go up as well. He needed to find some sort of respite and push up. It's been going down and down and down and down and down since 1966, I think. That was a good year. I think England won something that year. I think that's about
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
It hasn't been home since.
Yeah, look, Aussies, you think you're good at sport. You've got all this outdoor space and you still struggle. It's, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't even get started with things like the cricket. It's just dead. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
It's bad at everything. It's like, we're good, but compared to all the other countries, it's like when we get to them stages, we always seem to just fumble.
With football, yeah, it's the one that seems to be the vice, our vice. But when it comes to other competitive Arenas like
Were-
rugby's solid. Yeah, cricket's sort of doing well now. They're not too bad. It seems to be an attractive game to get back into. And athletics are really good for an island with.
right.
We have this small population, but we do well with athletics. We've got some amazing athletes, and small country, we always perform really well and get in the top three. I mean, we beat Australia in the last Olympics. Australia were, I don't know, where were you? Like fifth or something, or nowhere. But we were like second, I think, but behind China. I think behind the machine that's Chinese, and behind them, I think we were second, weren't we? I think USA were still up there as well, but they were struggling.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? In sporting competition, when the Olympics are on, I don't understand why you guys compete as Great Britain, but when it's UEFA and World Cup, then it's Wales, Ireland stuff.
Because they can. Yeah, because they can, they just whatever. That's actually why, if you look at the 2016 Summer Olympics, the medal table, it was actually the US that came first. They had 121 gold, medals in total. Great Britain came second out of all the countries in the world. The Chinese were third. And the Chinese had more medals overall. They had 70 medals, we had 67. But we had more gold medals than the Chinese. That was pretty impressive. Fourth were the Russians. So yeah, that was, I don't know. That's if we kept it separate, like Scotland and Wales and Ireland, then we probably would come in at somewhere like 50th. It wouldn't even be worth talking about. But you have to look at the empire. Come on, Gran Britannia. You have to kind of look at it like that and understand and appreciate that there's history there. It's. We don't take it too seriously. Come on, we don't take anything too seriously. We sort of laugh at people that get all patriotic. We sort of want to take the mick out of them a little bit. But we are patriotic ourselves, but we just don't want to show it and But I have to say, in the last 5-10 years, I've noticed people's front yards, their front gardens. People have been putting up Union Jacks, the flags, the Great British flags, which I think since we had the referendum and we came out of Europe, I think that's become more apparent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, how it makes people react. But, if you look at America, it's a given that you see American flags flying outside people's houses quite often. It's just one of those things, and being very patriotic and shouting from the highest buildings about it, and that's the norm, isn't it? The Americans, that's how they do things, very, very loud and very pronounced, and that's cool, and you wouldn't expect anything less. And but yeah, we've never really been that way, but it is starting to go that way a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, but then I think times have changed everywhere, haven't they? And we've had, when you get into politics, there's like hate crimes have gone up. There's been a lot of things that are not good that have started to happen, and I don't like some of that. I think it makes you want to become a little bit more recluse when you just don't want to get involved, because I don't know. I mean, I look at it all on. I see it all happening, and I don't shy away from it. I do want to look at it because it helps me appreciate what's going on and appreciate what I have, and appreciate it keeps things real for me, and appreciate what's important. So I won't ever shy away from watching the news or seeing something bad happen. Yeah, it's just the way it is, really. So yeah, look at this. This is going some, isn't it? Gold's on a rampage. It's going well. What chart is it? It's the 1 hour, so we've just closed 2 o'clock. So we've 30 minutes to the US Open. Let's
I'm just about to close out another one of Rob's trades. From GJ.
Oh yeah. Let's have a look at GJ. Oh, I pulled up GU. I've had GJ up and GU up since yesterday. I've just switched them over. I'm going to. I think I'm going to pull up the Dow here, and I'm going to shift my. So I'm going to put the Dow here because that'll be worth watching in half an hour. The fireworks and the volume, that's really fun to watch. I think down here I'll put gold. So my top charts are all linked. So the 6 charts at the top, which is currently showing gold, they're linked. So if I change one, they will all change. But down here they don't. So yeah, let's keep gold on the radar because that's moving really well at the moment. We'll see how that moves in comparison to the rest of these markets. So put that there. Let's put the Dow, Wall Street. Let's click there. So that'll change the top. And then I'll put my pound dollar over on my other screen. Shift them. Is there anything that anybody would like to look at, explore, talk about?
Well, I am looking at the GJ.
GJ?
GJ.
GJ, mate. There you go, mate. Where you from? Australia with an S.
Nothing worse than a
Then a Pommy trying to do an Aussie accent. I know, it's terrible. It's bad.
like Meryl Streep. That dingo's got more baby.
What film's that?
That was. Do you remember that? She started in that Australian movie. It was the remake of that Azaria Chamberlain that was taken by a dingo at Ayers Rock. Do you remember that case?
No.
Yeah. Well, his family, they went to Ayers Rock, the Uluru, the big rock in the middle of Australia.
Yeah. My family have been there.
Yeah, and supposedly a dingo came during the night and
Did they get the baby back? Did they
no,
get?
no, the baby was dead.
Ah, that's sad.
She got charged for murder
Ah.
because they thought it's impossible for a dingo to do that. And
So where were they? Were they in the outback camping or something?
yeah, they were camping.
Right.
They just take it out.
So let's camp in the outback where there's 10 of the most deadliest creatures in the world all around us. Yeah, that's good. And we're experienced campers, not. Just some people just do things that you're just asking for trouble. Well, if I think because we trade, we're talking about probability all the time. I think that just makes us a bit more aware of what we do in our real lives as well. It's kind of like, what's the probability of something going wrong here, realistically? It's like, I know I want to experience it, but I can experience it from the safety of, I don't know, I don't know, whatever. With professionals around me, Bear Grylls, take Bear Grylls along for the ride, It's just sometimes people just need, again, what is it? It's common sense, right? I keep saying it. It just comes back to common sense. I feel for people like that where it's their child. I couldn't think of anything worse in life than something like that happening. Just, forget the markets breaking you. It's when stuff like that happens to you in real life that's what break you. I think sometimes people need to have stuff like that happen to them. Maybe not like that. That's extreme. But when you have a bit of trauma or a bit of something happens to you in real life, and then you come to trade, you're a bit more hardened as an individual and seasoned as a trader as well. When you're taking losses and it just hardens you up for this battle, because each day you're coming in and you're fighting this little battle. You're not going to win the war, but it's like an ongoing thing, isn't it? If you can come out and make 1% each day from the markets, or take 1% out of the markets, you've achieved something that very few do, and be able to do that consistently. You get where I'm going with that. It's kind of like you sometimes have to. I always use analogies, real life analogies, and examples, and compare it to to how I would do things in real life, and how it seems to have that kind of, I don't know, it's relatable when I'm trading. I think because there's so much emotion involved when we trade. I mean, gold as whilst we've been talking, it's just gone up from 10 to 14. It's done 40 pips so far. It's just going, isn't it? It's going all the way up. So it looks like we are going to test the previous high 18, and we are going to maybe see if it finds some structural support there, and we could maybe look for some shorts. But yeah, I'm not gonna chase this up. You see here as well, this is what we did yesterday. It made a lower high and then a lower high, tested. I said to you 77, didn't I, yesterday? 77.
Yeah.
And that was I don't know, it just proved to be a key area because we had the trend line. And then it broke.
77 is actually where I got out.
Yeah, I saw that this morning when I noted that you about 3 o'clock this morning London time you said that. I thought, okay, that's cool. But yeah, I mean that's interesting. So there's a trend line break. There's a change in sentiment. So we've gone up and then we've pulled back, retested. So the break and a retest, trend line break, retest, and off we go. We're starting to see divergence. This is a 15 minutes, so maybe see a little bit of a pullback. Yeah. I think what I was just saying there about having some, I wouldn't wish people to have bad fortune or to have trauma in their life. All I'm saying is, when bad things happen to you, whether it's losing money trading or bad things happen to you, if you can come out of it fairly unscathed, sometimes these things are quite life-changing experiences that can maybe make you stronger. The saying, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It's that kind of sentiment. I think when it comes to trading, you're probably experiencing bad things happening to you in terms of losses, like constantly every day. It can be quite draining if you're not good at trading or you're still learning, and it can feel quite daunting and quite demoralizing, and some people it can really take its toll on some people, and they just feel like they're not making any progress with it, and it is like that. That is the reality of trading. Forget what the people are showing you on Instagram, doing donuts in their Lamborghinis on a racetrack or a bit of open road. That's because they've worked hard and they've got you signing up to them, giving them $150 a month, making 30 grand just from the commissions. It's quite nice, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. When you have bad things happen to you, I think it tests your resolve, it tests your resilience, and with trading, I don't know anything else in this world that's constantly testing those emotions. It's constantly testing you. Maybe if you're a soldier and you're on tour somewhere, then maybe that's quite traumatic and can be quite stressful, and more so than trading, I would imagine. Wouldn't necessarily want to do that. But for me, at least, this is something that I've done that I find is very, very challenging mentally. And I think people need to my message is just to understand that and appreciate it, that it's like getting into the boxing ring with Mike Tyson. You're gonna get your head bashed in if you don't know what you're doing. It's gonna be like that sometimes. So expect it and understand that, and learn to. People will say to you, learn to take a loss. That's what they mean. Learn to suck it up. Because you are going to always have losses. Always. It's just one of those things that's going to happen. Consistently. What we looking at now? Anything? I'm going to look at the Dow Jones at the open. But does anyone want to have a look at anything else? Did you say pound yen? George, do you want to have a look at pound yen? Did we look at pound yen? Likes the 30 number. Let's have a look at it on the daily time frame.
Yeah, I'm just in that pullback there at the moment.
The pullback, yeah? Okay.
If
Okay.
you go to the 15,
15, yeah. So let me zoom in. Let me just put my... I seem to have lost a trend line here. Let me just pull a trend line up quickly.
just about to hit TP.
What's on... Are you going long?
Yeah,
Okay.
long, yeah.
Yeah, bear with me.
So I put my fib on that. It's a very large candle. I think it's a large one. Yeah, that large candle.
Okay. Right, so I just drop the mic there for a minute. Let's just do this trend line very quickly. Maybe like that. Let's take it from that low. We're going to look to squeeze the price on these higher time frames. Like this is the daily, so we're going to maybe let's just drag this over that way a little bit more, and something like pull it up a little bit more.
You're still on that one.
Something like that, I think. Let's make that a little bit more, a little bit bold, bit more bold, a bit more, so you can see. I'm not sure if you can see that. So maybe do it a bit thicker, and maybe use a colour that's a bit more. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, how does that look?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's just pull this one across as well. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So this is what we're seeing, and I feel like the pound yen is starting to be squeezed in terms of the high and the low between these two trend lines. It's starting to form a bit of a wedge formation, and eventually it will break out. And I'm thinking as we are approaching the Brexit negotiations final sort of week or so, where they are trying to finalise things before Christmas, I think maybe that may provide a catalyst to kickstart things, to maybe give this pound some direction. And at the moment, because they're optimistic on the prospects of there being a deal, pound pairs will continue to provide some, well, be bullish bias. If there's no deal or they struggle, then the pound will tank and sell off, and that at the moment is what we're seeing. And so when you look at the high time frames, it's just holding with this kind of, every so often we get these moves to the upside. It's bullish bias, it's bullish potential. I haven't been shorting this over the last week or so. I've been focusing on only buying the dips, and that's been my message really. Just buy the dips on pound pairs. Every time it drops, buy the dips. That's not hard, is it? It's not over-analysing it. If you over-analyse things, it leads to paralysis. Paralysis. So I mean, you could take some cheeky shorts on these pound pairs, but yeah. What was your entry on this?
If you go to the 15 minutes, so right where that line is,
Yeah, 139.
yeah, if you draw a fib up to the top there,
So you want to focus on this little range, today's range.
yeah,
Yeah. So 50% at 38.
I actually started at pretty much the same level, but the other two candles on the left. That's where I started from.
What, long, you mean?
Yeah, but I got in. See where it is at the very top there. I drew my fib from the left-hand side candles there. It's almost the same position, but on the other side.
What, this?
No, lower to your left.
Lower to my left?
Yeah, keep going. You can't see the actual candles at the
Oh,
moment.
let me zoom out.
Yep, those two there.
Here?
Yep, yep, pretty much those two at the. See where that big line is you've got going across? It's almost at the same level where your fib is now, but under those two candles there on the left, where that line is, or the green line.
And so you've plotted your fib like from here on a 15-minute going back to yesterday, pretty much yesterday's price action. So none of this has happened yet, and you're plotting your fibs, the high and low of this little range here.
Yeah. Not that wick, sorry. Not that wick, further over to the right.
Where I've plotted my low at the moment. Have you done it like that?
Well, almost, but there's two candles there where there's almost like a bullish order block.
Okay. But what about this? What about this 13980 area?
It's pretty much the same. So I entered at 38, 50, 61 and 70, and it nearly whipped me out there, as you can see where your fib line is.
Okay. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, there. Oh, here. Okay, yeah. 138.96 or so. Right.
Yeah, so if you follow that line to the left, you'll see two candles there just below that black line.
This?
There. So I drew my fib from there up.
Oh, what? This is your zero.
Yeah.
And where's your 100% up here? 139.80.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
None of that happened on the right yet.
No. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's all right. That makes sense. Yeah. But okay. So now, so you're plotting your fibs for this price action. Oh, okay. But so you're looking at the move back down, were you? You did that, and you were looking for the move back down.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So we went down to the 76 and then we bounced. And then we came down and we took out the low and we spiked down. So that was a full retracement back to test the previous low. We just stabbed down and...
Nearly took my stop.
Yeah, so it would have done a little bit of a stop hunt down here, take out a few stops, and now it's going back up again. That's understandable. I saw when it started to curl over and sell off. You note that the pound yen likes the 30 number and it likes the 80 number, and it went up to 139.80 bang on and called over. And it just, look at those numbers generally. You can always trade between those numbers, and it's a 50 pip range. You can always make money within a 50 pip range. Long and short, it's quite nice. That's why I think people trade pound yen quite a lot, because it does historically just tend to move in a similar fashion every day. It doesn't really do anything too crazy most of the time, so it makes for a really nice pound pair. I think people choose pound yen above pound dollar, because pound dollar can be a bit fickle and a bit of a pain in terms of how it moves. You think it's going to, you know...
TP just above where the price action is at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, see, so for me, this one was great. Initially, first time looking at monitoring it back down for a retracement, so you could have shorted it to the 76 down to 139.17. So maybe would have looked at rounded it up. I like to round it up. So would have included the spread, etc. 139. I would have shorted up here if it was coming down. Say I was looking for a short. I didn't short, but I'm saying for me, I would have shorted it down to 139.20. Down here somewhere, because I was looking for that 76.4, but because I'm bullish and I'm looking for buys, I'd be more inclined to buy it. So when it tested on this 15 minutes, tested and then tested again, double bottom, and then started going up, then that 76.4 for me is the one in place. I would have made some money on this bounce up. If I was around and I was trading pound yen, I would have been buying with a 764 strategy my 764 strategy to buy it here and take it up.
Well, yeah, I had a buy limit there.
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how Rob would do it, right? It's buy at 76.4. And maybe
But I
scale in.
had
He would
buy
scale in here as well. He'd probably scale in along at 13938, somewhere like that.
Yeah,
And
I did. I scaled in at the 31, 50, 61, and the 76.
oh, okay.
But I increased the size of the lots.
Yeah, so put a little bit on here at the 50, put a bit on here at the 618, and then put all your bulk here at the bottom
Yep.
at the 76, and then as it goes back up, you cash out. You could have taken it all the way back up quite nicely,
And
actually.
that's exactly what's happening right now.
Okay, but when did you get in? Did you get in here or did you get in here?
I got in.
Here.
No, I got in at the 31.
Okay,
Sorry, 38.
38, yeah.
50,
Okay,
61 and 76. As it moved down,
Yeah.
I had buy limits in place.
okay. So this is
And then,
quite nice.
The final price was 76.4, and then it nearly
I'm
went
gonna-
out.
yeah.
It did actually go into profit, as you can see.
Yeah.
It
Well,
kind
that
of took-
because that's all played out here. That's all played out now. That was several hours ago, and this is a 15-minute time frame. This is why you update things on the smaller time frames more often. So for me now, I'm updating my fibs, and I wouldn't entertain that as being the low because it's no longer the low. There's your new low. So this is where my starting point is, and that was the high, and we're just focusing on this move up, which then helps you just focus on what's happening now. And as an intraday trader or as a day trader looking for this move, you're buying into this move, and yeah, see what it does. This is nice. It's all right. It's all right. All the pound pairs are going back up now as the US is opening. They're all bullish. I've got pound Aussie, pound New Zealand, pound CAD, pound yen, pound dollar, all doing the same price action, all in sync. Pound pairs all trying to pump up. Pound Aussie's just pumped up a nice bit, and then obviously pound yen's moving quite sweetly as well. And what fib's that is coming off? Let's look at the higher time frame just to see the fib.
Question for you, Alex.
Yeah.
What's more important for you,
Family.
risk and reward ratio, or making your percentage for the day?
They're two different things, aren't they? I don't.
I mean, there's a lot of.
I don't obsess about the risk. Yeah, I don't obsess about the risk to reward. I see people saying, "Oh, they've gone in with a 4-pip stop, and then they've got a 1 to squillion risk to reward." I'm like, well, okay, whatever. You can do that. You're a retail trader. That's maybe one of the advantages of being able to jump in and do that. But for me, I don't. Yeah, don't. It's nice when I can get stuff like that to happen. It is nice, but otherwise, I don't. Yeah. Don't worry about the risk to reward in that respect. Because if I'm looking for a setup and a trade, the risk to reward goes without saying. It will be worth taking. If it's not worth taking, I wouldn't take it. If I have to risk 50 pips to make 30 pips, so if I'm risking 1% broken down into a 50 pip stop loss, but I'm only really going to realistically achieve 30, that doesn't make sense, does it? But if I can see the bigger picture, so if I'm taking a long here on the pound yen and I was in at somewhere like 139 to 139.80, then my stop loss might be 20 pips or so, which if I can put 1% risk. So if you've got 100k and you risk even 0.5%, so if you've got 100k with your FTMO challenge and you risk $500 and you put 0.5% down and broken into a 20 pip stop loss, then that's a good risk to reward. You can take your T1 off at one of these fib levels, 38.2 or 50%, and then bring your stop to break even and ride the other position and see if it can go all the way back up to retest the high. So that goes without saying, really. You'll do that. But what's more important? I think it's all important, really. I don't know.
But if you're trading with higher lots, and let's say you're trading at $100 a pip,
Yeah.
and you make your 4 or 5 pips for the day, and you've made your 1%, so for example, and does the risk reward really matter if the setup's there and your trade's there?
You mean like Rob will just close everything down, for example, and
Yeah.
if he feels like he's made enough, he'll just close it and say, "I've done enough here." Even if it does go another 1% in his favour, or think to keep something on to ride this move for another 1,000 pips or so. Yeah, I don't. I'm quite an impatient trader, and so instant gratification is something that tends to influence my trading. But if we have, like last week, with some clear cut selling on gold, and I've got a position on, then I've been able to milk that move, which satisfies my greed element, the greed factor. But so then I've got no problems leaving a position on to run, and so I can then look at the whole risk to reward, and not really be too fussed. Yeah, I don't know. Every trade is different. If now it's 28 minutes past, and we start looking at some price action on the Dow Jones, and start looking at how these markets are going to move when they open. If the profile is clear in terms of, is it going to be bullish, is it going to be bearish, are we going to see a trending move, then I can potentially jump in, make my money, and jump out and be done within the space of half hour or an hour.
Yeah.
And so don't really give much thought to, I don't know, to anything else generally. That's how we roll. I think it's a good question. I need to give that some thought, because I just think trading is a complete package. I don't really say that's more important than that. I'd say the most important aspect to trading is the 80% you should be spending on self-improvement, psychology, making sure your strategy is watertight, your trade plan's solid, and then the 20% required to just put some trades on should just come and flow naturally. But as I keep saying, most traders don't think that way. Most traders end up putting 80% into just trading, putting trades on. Got to trade, put a trade on. Got to be in the game, and they leave maybe 20% or less to actually back testing things and focusing on what they're actually laying the foundations, basically laying those strong foundations, those deep-rooted foundations, to allow you to stand tall and stand strong, because you've laid the foundations. So that's where I think people need to develop their trading. It needs to be 80% allocated to actually back testing, making sure your strategy is watertight, and then 20% or less focused on actually taking the trades. Instead, it's the other way around, which it's quite.
Market's just
Yeah, so we had a bit of a spike up, and then we can have a little spike down. Right. Gold's tearing off those highs. We've had some divergence on the 15-minute. We've had a really nice, calm, steady move to retest the highs, taking out that previous structure on gold. So that's done its bit. We're just having a bit of a flick up and down on the Dow. see how this wants to play out. I was trying to clear out the stops to the downside.
Nasdaq always, without fail, goes in the direction opposite to where it trends for the day where it opens.
Yeah, so perhaps we said this, didn't we, about an hour ago, that perhaps we may see a bit of a sell-off, bit of a move down, and so if we can see some sort of a correction down first and test.
Did you see yesterday's chart on the Nasdaq?
No, what happened?
It was a massive V shape.
Okay. That's my 5 minute. You saw that. I did that earlier, didn't I? And yeah. Okay, so we're having that push down, which makes sense. I can see that. I can see the Nasdaq pushing down. I can see the S&P's thinking about pushing down, not doing that. The FTSE UK market and the DAX German market are both actually pushing up and showing some bullish. They're both bullish at the moment, pushing up. So this will probably see this pullback now. Maybe see some bullish price action. Now that it's pulled back 50%, we'll see. It's not clean at the moment. Gold, what's gold doing? Well, gold has pulled back, but it's pulled back 70 pips actually, isn't it? Gold. Yeah, bit of a mixed bag at the moment. So only 3 minutes in. Let the dust settle. Yeah, it's been really, really nice. It's been a really good first day of the month. Bit of movement. The Dow is trying to push down and give back the gains that were made throughout the European session. So perhaps look at 29,900 to 29,880 for that 76.4 pullback of today's range. That was actually quite a nice easy sell. I think the movement up might be a little bit slower to develop, but yeah, really, really good, really good.
Do you reckon it might find support at 76 today?
Yeah, maybe. I would like to see it stall there a little bit and find some support, and then maybe have another little stab to the upside by the dip. Yeah, it's already. It's yeah. This price action is not how I want to be jumping in on and trading. It's too quick, too aggressive. But kind of nice to see, isn't it? That's what we talk about when we look at the open of a stock market, especially the US stock market. We get this kind of movement, and it's kind of cool to see. Sometimes there's always opportunity to make money when stuff like this is happening. Just want to see a little bit more clarity. Would have been nice to actually hit that 76.4 at 29,880, which is just as I said when we pulled up that chart on the 5 minute. We had today's range, 8:15. Everything took off, so we had that flag formation, as I said. a little bit of a pullback and took out the low, and then so that was our starting point. So I said we might get a bit of a stab down at the open. It would have been nice to come down here a little bit more, properly test the low, test the 880 area. Didn't do it. It's gone down and gone all the way back up. Yo-yoed so quick. That's some aggressive movement. But you know, if that is the low and that's it, and they're just saying, well, you know, that's the pullback. Take it or leave it. That's as good as it's going to get. Then that's cool. We can go with that. We can work with that. That's fine. We'll just look for some long opportunities once it's finished faffing about, and find some steady sort of movement to the upside if that's going to be the case. 30,000. Yeah, so 30,000 is the first sort of upside target, but then after that we're looking at 30,200. Yeah, exactly. It was a clear out. It was a nice move down. If I was shorting it down to 900, that would have been the area. Just wanted to see it actually react a little better. It was too quick for me to jump on that and take it back up.
This is going to smash through 30,000.
Maybe.
So aggressive.
Yeah, but new money, new month. Positions being taken, orders being filled.
Santarelli.
Bigger picture, let's just see bigger picture. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. So 15-minute on the Dow. So looking at the last swing low, which was yesterday's sell-off, made a double bottom, took out the previous structure, previous low, and then found some support there. And this is the kind of price action you want to see, a bit of consolidation, and for it to then build up. But where it's opened here, it's gone spike down, spike up. It needs to put in a bit more confirmation for me to say, okay, this is where support is going to be, and it's going to hold, not whip down, whip up just as quick, and then whip back down again, and then, you know what I mean? It just let it be a bit more steady. Like the London Open was nicer. It was just a case of 15 minutes of just sorting itself out, and then it just started to move up, and it was just a nicer way to move. Yeah. Here. Yeah, it's holding. It's holding. I might look to try and get some longs on if it can just hold. Now the positions have been taken and the stops have been tested. We'll just see if it can break out of this range. At the moment, it's just sideways, and it's up, and it's down, it's up a bit, it's down. You know what I mean? Yeah, just see. Will it see one more move down to shake out the people trying to take longs? I don't know. We'll see. Gold has just been. Gold is finding a bit of support, and maybe it's having another stab to the upside to retest where it's just come from. That's all bullish. A lot of these moves, unless you're in at the very beginning, what you're then doing is trying to get in at these mid levels, which is always suicidal because it's anything can happen, you know. Unless you've got a tight plan and you say, right, well, okay, I'm adamant this is going to be bullish or bearish, and I'm going to now put a stop loss that reflects that to allow for all of this whipsaw price action. Otherwise, it's just, you know, with gold here, we had this pullback to 08 and it's gone up 40 pips. It may well just looks like it wants to go back up to 14, 15, you know, but But jumping in here is just not where we take the trade. We don't take the trade halfway through the move, do we? It's just, it becomes high risk. Because you've got to put 40 pip stop.
Yeah.
That's where patience comes in. A lot of the time you'll be a bystander and you'll miss moves and you'll be watching. It may frustrate you, and you have to then contend with your emotions, that whole FOMO, the fear of missing out. And again, just suck it up. That's part of trading. That's part of the emotions that you will feel every single day. And if you want to be a trader for the next 5-10 years, these are the things that you've got to contend with, and appreciate that these are the things that you are going to deal with on a daily basis. And so it's not going to suddenly just go away, but what you can do is you can create, I don't know, reprogram your thinking, create ways to handle it, and incorporate that into your trading plan. And it's a process. Trust the process. That's what we mean by trust the process.
Watching the Nasdaq too looks like it's. I think it might create an all-time high.
NAS spiked down, NAS spiking back up. S&P's done that as well. They've all done it. They're all loitering. They all look like they want to go up, don't they? They might have one more shake down before going up. It's not it's not clear yet. It's still range bound. It's gone down. It's gone back up exactly where it broke from. That's thinking about what to do next. It's gone surprisingly dead. I was kind of expecting there to be a clear-cut move, whether it be long or short. So that's yet to really develop and materialise. So we just wait. You may have to wait another 15-20 minutes because we have PMI, US PMI, manufacturing PMI data coming out at 3 o'clock, which is 10 a.m. New York time.
Apple's up 2.1%. Google's up 1.3%. Tesla again 3.5% up on the open.
Okay, so this is still thinking about it. It's a bit choppy, a bit sideways.
Haven't seen Bibi for a while. Where's he?
I have spoken with him a few times, but yeah, he's just been working.
Nasdaq approaching 12,400.
So yeah, we just had a bit of a spike up and then down again. Spike up to 30, 30k. What's gold doing? Just sitting there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bit of a subdued, bit of a muted open at the moment. So wait on the news, 14 minutes or so. Maybe that will provide a bit of a trend, a bit of a move, a bit more clear cut. You see with the pound pairs, they kind of went up, didn't they? And then they've kind of just dropped back and given it back a bit. It's a bit choppy. Pound yen is trying to break up. Euro yen's doing well. Euro yen's been quite clean. It's gone up a bit, sideways and up a bit more. Euro dollar's trying to break up. Euro CAD and Euro Aussie are trying to be bullish, but the Euro New Zealand and Pound New Zealand have actually sold off, spiked down. So it's a bit mixed bits and pieces coming out at the moment, and a bit whipsaw in terms of whipsaw price action, a bit choppy. So there's no rush, just chill, innit? Just wait, see what happens. There's nothing for us to do here, really, in terms of trading. These white candles on the smaller time frame suggest a dip in volume and orders. So, yeah, just wait for that to turn green a bit and see if we're going to see some more volume come in. It's a bit messy. Bit messy. It needs to break. Change your friend. We go with the bullish momentum, see if it starts making new highs. The rest of it, I don't know. Just mute mic, wait, sit, patient. I think we'll get a trade on. I'd like to take a long on the Dow if it can break and start making new highs, or go up properly and retest the previous high, which is 3,200. I'd like to see it do that within the next sort of half hour or so. Would be nice. If it just stays like this though, then don't forget it. But being the first day of the month, let's see if it can actually give us something. And gold's waiting as well. So let's see what the numbers are in about 10 minutes, and then take it from there.
concentration in the Nasdaq at the moment. Nice big bullish candle on the FTSE on the 15, on the 30. Okay. Oh.
Okay, we have 3 minutes to US PMI news. See how that affects the US markets. So I've got the US markets up, but also I'm gonna take a look I'm going to take a look at the pound yen as well. And just see. Pound yen, I've got, looking at CAD pairs are trying to make a little bit of a pump up. Euro yen, pound yen, pound dollar, euro dollar, they're trying to go up. Euro dollar's been quite bullish. I'm still looking for euro dollar to break 120 really, and get to that 124 that we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. Show you euro dollar, no brainer really. It's a nice little sell off to buy back up. This is what we've been seeing over the last few weeks in particular. We've been seeing these kind of moves. You get a clear out, profit taking, and then it's another opportunity to just buy it back up. It's not the best price action, and it's not clear cut, but we did say that we were looking at the 61.8 to provide that support, which it has done after much consolidation, many weeks. This is a weekly chart, and we were just looking at this price action. I don't know where my arrow's gone. I had an arrow on here. Don't know why that's gone off. It was here, it was like that, wasn't it? It was there. Let's just angle it a little bit more like that. There we go. So about 121. So if we can break 120, we'll break out of here. We'll get a little move up to 121. And that's euro dollar. So euro dollar's maintained its bullish stance, and I think you tend to see things like this in terms of bullish price action against the US dollar weakness, basically. I think it's reflected, isn't it? It's reflected across all dollar related pairs. See what it does when it gets to about that level. It's a key area. Is anybody in any trades, or has anyone been looking at any trades, or made any money, or lost any money on any trades?
Yeah, I'm in quite a few trades right now.
Oh yeah. Overtrade.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, go on.
that-
No, I was going to say you overtrading. Here we go. We've got news out. News out at 3 o'clock. Let's see what the news does. Let's just get rid of this a second. Okay, a bit of a push up on gold. Gold is pushing up. Nice move on gold. 40 pips. No, go and talk. Yeah, go for it. What are you in? How are you getting on? How are your trades?
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good, man. I've been gaining, between 2 and maybe 10% a day or so for the last about 5 trading days. So, I mean, it's been going just way better than I expected. All of a sudden.
It's really good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just hoping I'm not getting lucky coincidentally over and over.
I don't know. I
What are you
mean,
trading? What sort of method are you trading?
Well, I have 2 strategies. I mean, no strategy is truly yours, I don't think. But I mean, I've taken inspiration from everyone I've studied or heard about or met or read, or strategies I've seen and tried, and blah 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 blah. But like, I don't really use any indicators. Like, it's more of a just price action, following the trend, buying low, selling high. I mean, that's pretty vague, but
standard trading, though, isn't it? Buy low, sell high. So yeah.
yeah, like I've been looking at, I've been really enjoying trading via supply and demand,
Yeah.
and also the quarter points. Like the 1 point, or just like the whole numbers. Like I've been looking at USD CAD here, for example,
Okay.
for you know, like probably a year actually. Now that I'm looking back in time, or even more.
That's good.
I haven't been looking at it for a year, but uh, for let me get my measurement tool.
Oh, the Dow is trying to break. Is it going to break?
Yeah, Nasdaq's breaking.
Yeah, I saw it. It broke 12,400. Let's see let's see if this can break as well.
I just took another position on the Nasdaq.
What at the top? Okay.
Well, I think it's going to what.
Oh, you're looking
my TPs are around the 1300 mark.
Okay.
So even if it does,
See if it breaks this time. Yeah, that's what you're thinking.
it's already in profit that position, so I can take it now.
Yeah.
It's ferocious today. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, this is what we're looking for, a little bit of a pump up now. Here we go. Come on, pump it,
Here we
break
go.
Still
it.
too,
There
still
we
too
go.
scared to be scalping, and especially the Dow. Like the way my broker works, it's the lowest you can go is $1 per pip. You know,
Yeah.
and I mean the Dow that's like, you know, quite a bit of money, fairly short period of time.
One of my brokers is the same. To be fair, I think actually no, I think they're all the same actually. It's a pound, roughly. Well,
Well,
I
do
say a
have another
pound, but
broker. It's
yeah.
an Australian broker, and
Yeah. Be careful up here,
it's-
by the way. Just keep an eye on it breaking the high. It might just snap back. So, you know, if you're going to try and let it run, bring your stops up, or just keep an eye on it.
Which Australian broker are you with?
I can't remember if it's Australia or New Zealand. So my apologies. They're like basically the same thing to us Canadians, but it's called Vantage FX.
Yeah, Vantage. Yeah, we know Vantage.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
it's like you
They're-
Canadian
yeah,
and
they're-
everything.
They're not going to be around though, are they, for much longer in Canada? Are they not coming out of Canada?
I don't know. Well, when I first started Forex, they were the only ones I could find that was like compatible with Canada or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but they're like if I'm trading US 30, the Dow Jones with Vantage, they're only, I think they're a penny per pip. Like it's, you know, and it's so weird because I went, that was the first one I used, and then I got an account at Hugo's Way, and it's $1 per pip, and so I was like trying to open a 0.1 lot size, and it's like, you know, it says my account balance is small. I'm like, what the hell? But you need like, what would it be? I think you need around $1,500 in there, and at the time I was still like learning and playing with, you know, like a couple $100 or whatever. So I'm like, why can't I open this position? And I was like researching, and then I finally opened a 0.01, and then within like 15 seconds I was like, you know, $150 in profit or something. I'm like, what the hell? This moves way faster. You know, it's just the amount per pip. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I hear you. I hear you. It's all a learning curve, and it's really nice to be able to speak to traders all over the world and see how they fare with their brokers, and you know how it suits them as well. Because your time zone, you're 7 hours behind, aren't you? What's the time there at the moment? 7?
it's 8 a.m.
Oh, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. Oh, 3 o'clock. Yeah, 8 a.m. So yeah, how long have you been sort of up and looking at the markets and seeing what's going on?
I've been up since 4 a.m. my time, so I've been up for 4 hours, which is like
Okay.
10 your time, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, that'd be 11 your time, right?
Where are you based?
Northern Alberta, Canada.
Okay. Cool.
The United States of Canada.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chapman.
Like I've just, you know, just to go back to what I was saying there about USD CAD for
Yeah.
one example.
Yeah.
Like it's been bouncing around that 1.3 quarter point for like 500 days. It hasn't crossed below it, and
Yeah.
it's just only recently crossed below it. So, I mean, I think the strategy for that would be to buy it at that point. Like even today is a great buying opportunity,
Yeah.
with the expectation to hold it for like, you know, a couple months kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I've actually taken a couple positions on USD CAD, and I mean the stop loss isn't even that big either, because you know, the tip of the lowest wick under there from current price is maybe 70 pips. And,
Yeah.
you know, if you're looking at gaining 2,000 pips, I mean, what's a 70 pip risk?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the way I look at it on USD CAD. And there's actually a few other pairs that are doing the same thing right now. There's several pairs right now that are right at a point that hasn't been crossed in like a year or more or whatever. And that also are coincidentally like very close to one of those quarter points or right at it.
Interesting. What you're talking what you're talking about regarding the quarter points. That's yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I really like trading the Dow, is because it very much so respects those quarter points. Like I have all my charts marked up with those, and like if you look at US 30, that you know, the 30,000 is like, you know, it's you call it like a major quarter point because it's like the most even number you can get.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, that 30,000, it's been struggling. It's been hitting it and bouncing off of it now for 23 days. So
What I find with the dollar CAD is that the dollar CAD will be bullish when the stock markets, the US stock markets, are bearish, and vice versa. So at the moment
Yeah.
we're seeing some strength on the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. They're all making new highs at the moment on the day, and yeah, we're just testing some resistance levels at the moment on the Dow. 76.4 actually, around that 30.40. And you're seeing that the pound yen and dollar yen, they're moving quite nicely in sync. They tend to move quite nicely in sync with the indices as well. So you know, yen weakness when there's indices strength, or US strength. That's what we're seeing at the moment, which is why we're seeing this kind of price action in the pound.
And that's
So yeah,
I think that's like the kind of the final piece of the puzzle that I utilize for like my strategy is correlation.
yeah, correlation's
And, like,
important.
it's- yeah, like I have this little cheat sheet that for some reason took me forever to summarize, like, you know, to quickly remember like correlation.
Yeah.
And it took me until like last week literally for me to be like, okay, I gotta figure this out. Like what moves together, what moves opposite, like what how many
Pounds,
pairs are there?
yeah, I mean, pound pairs are trying to break up. Pound yen's going for it. Pound dollar's sitting there, looking like it wants to go. Let's pull it up on a 15-minute. So there you can see it's retesting this. It looks like it might want to have another little stab to the upside now that the US traders have come in. So might just take a long on this pound and just see if we can get something up there. But there's a 50% just there. It likes that 50 number. So yeah, would like to see a bit more bullish price action. I think if we see some dollar weakness, perhaps you'll see dollar CAD go up. Just keep an eye on it. It's all very hit and miss at the moment. It's all a bit choppy. Nothing's too clear. I don't know if you're noticing that. What are you guys seeing? What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of back and forth moves. It's not it's not just one way action. You do have to like TP and take your money out unless you get caught back at entry or something.
First day of the month, so allow it, I guess, and yeah, see how we go. Maybe drill down to a 5-minute and a 15-minute on one of these pairs and just see if they want to break these levels. This is what I'm seeing on the pound. So see if it can bust a groove to the upside and make some bullish momentum. Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, just a bit better to trade. I don't want to see it get to here and then just drop again. But the best one out of all the pound pairs is the pound yen at the moment. That's just going, isn't it? Even that on the pullback, that's done well.
I got out of that earlier.
But that's okay. He did something on it, and pound pair. Yeah, I mean, look, pound yen's gone up a lot stronger, a lot more strength against the yen as opposed to the dollar. But again, that's testing the highs, and that's gone up to the 76.4, and doesn't really leave much.
testing the Rob strategy, and it worked great.
Yeah, that's really good to get in on the pullbacks and to buy it back up. And it's a shame you didn't hold anything for this move. This is the move.
I had one TP left, and I thought I pushed it up, and it's taken it out.
Well, I need to have a go at you a little bit because it makes me feel better because I missed it. So I need to sort of shift and deflect the blame. You know, my frustration for not making any money on this pound bullish move, and have a go and criticise anyone who's in it and not taking enough on it. That's how it works, isn't it? Yeah, you'll allow it because you're you know you're an Aussie. I'm English. We have to have that bit of banter.
Yeah,
That's a given.
just wait till the ashes start.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you guys, just, yeah. Anyway, how you doing, Chris? How's it going?
Doing well. I'm doing well. How you
Hey,
guys doing?
Chrissy.
Yeah, all right. We're just watching really as stuff moves. Just a spectator today. At the moment, haven't really been feeling it too much. But nice movement. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised at what gold did. That's crazy. The 1700 now.
Oh, what? Yeah, no. It's back up in the 18s now, though, isn't it? It's done now. That's old news.
Yeah, I know. Just I was thinking yesterday, like, what was it? 2 weeks ago or a week ago? We were in the 2000s. Now look at us. It just keeps going down and down.
Yeah, we've had this relief rally though, big strong bounce up. So we need to see if that's just going to be a pump and dump, and it fades, or whether this is going to be momentum taking it higher. It's hit 50% of the last high-low swing. If we look at what we were saying to the guys here, this last move down, that was with the coronavirus, and we had the hedge funds. They were cashing out their gold positions to balance their books because they were sustaining hefty losses during the pandemic, so they liquidated their positions in gold. So we had this move down, but that was an opportunity to bite back up, and that's what we saw. And that moves there has gone all the way up. So we used that as a significant high-low point. There's the high, there's that low, double bottom. You know, it's a significant area at 1450 area. So a pullback on that, 50% pullback, came back down to previous structure, and we said it was filling this imbalance and this void, this move up, and it's completely filled it perfectly. 50% to 64, and we tested that area about 4 times yesterday. It just didn't want to break, so we just stepped aside, stood aside, and left it, and we felt this might go up, and this has confirmed what we did. And we were trading this yesterday live in the room, and we were George was here, weren't you, George? And we were, we did all this, and he had his shorts on. He took profit on his last remaining shorts in the end.
Did you put a new fib on there to see if it retraces up?
I did, yeah. I did have some fibs. Let me. What
Do you
is that?
think it will do that? It'll have a little bit of a retracement and then continue down, or?
Yeah, it remains to be seen. I said we have to allow this to play out now and to set up again. It went up to about 15. It's just dropped to about 8 now, 7, 8. So that's quite big ranges. But then again, appreciate where we've come from. Massive move. So yeah, just give it a chance. What's the pound doing? Pound dollar's trying to go up, but it's just not moving. Dollar pairs, they're not moving. Dollar CAD's not moving. Pound dollar's not moving. Euro dollar's not moving. They're just sat, aren't they? The yen pairs have been great. Euro yen. Check out euro yen. That's nice. And pound yen. Pound yen's just going up, back up to 139.80. So had another go. It might even break and go to 140 and test 140.30, which was the previous high, if I remember rightly. Let's have a look. Get it up on a daily. Yeah, 140.30 was the previous high. Let's see if it does it. Let's get rid of these fibs. I don't need them on there. Look at the bigger picture. Stuff has been moving. A bit frustrating. We're not been able to really jump on any of this. Not confident about the price action. It's always made me feel like I'm getting in, taking some profit, and I need to sort of get out and leave it. And yeah, but yeah, that's been good. Yeah, really nice. Let's get pound yen up.
Nasdaq approaches an all-time high.
What's the all-time high on the NAS?
12.46.3. 12.43.
Okay, so it's at 12,420 area at the moment, so about 40 points away. Okay, not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, pound dollar's trying to make a break. Let's see if pound dollar's trying to make a break. Let's see if we can get some kind of pound dollar. I did say that. I wanted to see if I could grab something on it. It's broken 60, broken a 50%. Yeah, just not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. It's too much chop. It's too much noise going on. Goes up a bit and then it kind of drops back a bit, up a bit, back a bit. All right, the kids are home from school. It's going to get hectic. Let's see what they.
I can hear him, yeah.
Yeah, can you hear that? Wow.
I just heard the big scream at the start. That was it.
Yeah. Okay, euro dollar's broken. Euro pairs are rallying. All the euro pairs have broken. Check out euro Aussie making new highs. Euro CAD making new highs. Euro yen, euro dollar, both making new highs. Euro New Zealand did a sell-off and now it's coming back. But yeah, the euro yen's been sweet. Pound pairs, we've got pound dollar trying to make this move up. It's going to stall here a little bit at the 50. Just want to see if it can just break this area, like properly clear it. Pretty dead, I have to say though. Not feeling that at all. I quite like the Dow for 3200, but it's sat at the 76.4 at the second. It's trying to break up and it's just set there. So everything's pointing up, everything's going up. It just depends if you can justify an entry and where to put your stop. I'm a bit struggling with this in terms of where I put my stop. Do I put like a little stop under here? Yeah, don't know. It's all good though. How are you guys getting on? Oh, I feel like I've missed a lot of this.
Why do you think you missed it?
Oh, because I saw it
That
this.
FOMO kicking in.
Yeah,
after 15
yeah.
years.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I saw it earlier. I saw it this morning when we had the clear out this morning on the pound pairs. Everything tanked, and I thought, okay, as it's going down, we'll look to buy it back up, and I didn't, and so now I'm thinking, oh, I should have done it, but I didn't like it. Oh, okay. So now this is wrong. Okay. See, this is what I don't want to see, just dead price action. I want to see a bit of momentum kicking. We'll see if it can test, get up to, what is that, 70 area? 72? 80, 85, 133, 85 I'd be looking for on pound dollar.
Oh,
I think 55 area, 50 area might be a little tight on the stop, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, just the worst kind of. Oh well, it looked exciting initially, and it's kind of all just gone to sleep. So, not feeling that. See, this is all a bit rubbish. Let's pull up the pound dollar. How are you guys getting on? Anyone? I can hear positions being taken. What are you guys thinking?
GU, I do think that original entry, like the safe entry, is kind of missed. Where you would have put your stop just below.
Yeah, look.
Maybe if you put it
Yeah,
around
yeah.
3, 4, 5, 4.
We'll see how this 50
Yeah,
holds up here. Let's see if it finds some structural support here at this 50. Not just nosedive back down.
Oh wow. I just said take profit for
Didn't help yourself, did you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you
What do you mean?
did you take some trades?
Yeah, I'm in on the pound just to see if it's gonna, like now, going long now, just to see if it's gonna stab up, but it's failing, so that's dead trade. So what are we in? We'll see. We'll see. Let it pull back. Might add a position here. We'll see. Not the kind of not nice. Stop's going to be tight. My stop is only. I'm risking about 0.5% on this. Just going to see if we can find some structural support around 50 area. So we'll chuck 0.5% at it and see what happens. But see, the next candle was just straight back down, and I wanted to see it break out and then just keep going up. I think it might be one of those where you may have to just be patient for the next half hour or so. But if it just comes off the highs and drops, then I'll just step out of the way. I was kind of hoping we were going to go up and test the high, get up to 134 again, maybe.
Who are you?
Yeah. Alex, somebody in the chat asked if they
Can I
could
buy pound
look
Swiss?
at,
Oh, pound Swiss.
yeah.
It's the same. It's the same with all the pound pairs. So they've got bullish bias, but it's like, does it fit in with your trade plan? What's your risk, and what do you reckon? Where's your stop going to be? For me, I'm just going to try and have a go and see if it wants to find some support at this 50 area and go up. If it breaks back down and it all comes back down into the mix, then I'll just take like a 10-15 pips stop and step out of the way. I was looking for a bit of momentum here, but it just died as soon as we got in. It just dead. So we'll wait and
Yeah,
see.
the currency strength meter says that the GBP has 2 bars right now, USD has 3.
What does that mean?
It kind of just gives you, I think it's a Chinese indicator. It just kind of shows the currency strengths
Right.
at
Okay.
a period of time. Yeah, it's on livecharts.co.uk.
Okay. Well, we'll give it another few minutes. It's not clean and it's not clear. I was kind of hoping to see a bit more follow through with the pound pairs. We are seeing a bit of a bullish move on them. Pound dollar's lagging out of all of them, so I figured that perhaps if we were to see that play catch up with the other pound pairs, maybe it would have a little break up, and so that's my thinking really, to catch up with the rest. It's holding and. Yeah, GJ was a nice one. I didn't take that because it was already up quite high. But so yeah, that's my take on pound pairs at the minute. They're all moving in a similar fashion. We're sitting at around our break even on pounds. So I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
Oh wow, I haven't looked at it. Couple hours.
Yeah, I'm in profit on GU.
Yeah, just got to kind of see if it can break and carry on up. Let's have a look at the pound on here. I'd like to get it up to about 80. It came back and tested previous structure there, and yeah, I'd like it to find some support now and just build on this momentum and just keep working its way up a little bit more. If it fails here, like I said, if it fails, maybe just take like a 10 pip, 15 pip loss, 0.5% or something. Just wait for the next setup.
No, GU beat me up this morning.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So what?
Kind of shorted it, and he went. I mean, he nearly went down, but he just kept stopping me out of both. Twice, and then GJ went to it. So annoying. And it's like after it started falling, like I couldn't see like a safe place to jump before. You know, and it's so annoying because how many pips is that? That's a lot of pips. It's almost like 100 pips in it. That's so annoying. All I want is a measly 30 pips like that. It's crazy.
Well, it went up to 134, didn't it? And then dropped to. It hit 134, and that seems to be a good resistance. Well, we're still looking for 135 retest ultimately, and if the Brexit news this week is good, then we would see it go up. Hello.
It's been stuck in that range for over a week. I don't know if it's
Yeah, that's Brexit. We're waiting on Brexit. That's why. Ooh, thank you. Nice work. Thank you.
When is the Brexit news coming out? Because it was delayed from that couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but they're still in the UK. The European entourage they stayed, so they're here. So the last few weeks they've been in Europe. Now they're over in the UK and they are negotiating. They're trying to finalise a deal with in terms of like where the French and where the Europeans can go fishing, and how much can they get involved in the waters around the UK. Just things like that. It's yeah. Okay, this is a dead trade.
I want them in our waters, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes sense though. It's like if we're not part of the EU, you can't have full control of waters at all.
Yeah, you can't even swimming in our waters, mate. We're getting licensed or something. Then again, we all still want to go make a league, so
Okay, so pound is not doing anything. Look at that. Pound is just.
I got
Yeah.
invited from the bottom.
That's a shame. I was kind of looking for a bit more. Everything else is moving really, really well, and this is just not doing anything. It's just holding.
I think when that happens, like, you just happen to pick the one that decides to go.
Yeah, that's the way it is sometimes. It's just what can you do?
I want to eat there as well. Oh, with all the other E's, like, from the nice versus and drop. And then,
Well, I've put my stop at 50, but I might just close it in a second. We're about less than 10 pips. We'll see. See what it does in this little drop.
I have faith in it to go up, but I'm just playing about.
Yeah, I was looking for momentum, so maybe the next 5 minutes, this candle here will tell us if we just turn and go long. That would be cool. If it starts dropping, then it's like, well, that's forget it.
I think it would, break that resistance.
Well, it's half past, so 30 minutes. Let's have a look at a 30-minute candle. What's a 30-minute doing? It's just didn't want to see bearish momentum. Wanted to see a continuation. Didn't want to see it kind of just. See, when you look at it on the look at that. It's just wicks and mess and yeah. I think if I wanted to take a trade on a pound pairs, it should have been. To be fair, it should have been the pound yen. Kepi was the one today. That was nice. It went up and retested the high, no drama. Everything else, like I'm looking at it all, really nice. Upward price action. Euro pairs, euro yen just keeps going. Euro dollar actually broke, so I was looking for pound dollar to break as well because euro dollar broke. So yeah, we'll see. I'm about 5 pips away from my stop.
What are the other main pound pairs that you look at? I try not to look at other pairs.
I've got them all up. So on my laptop, I've got pound dollar, pound yen, pound CAD, pound Aussie, pound New Zealand. On the left, on the right, I've got the euro dollar, euro yen, euro CAD, euro Aussie, euro New Zealand.
I had a pretty good buy on Euro NZD.
Yeah,
It's just been skyrocketing in the last couple of minutes.
I'm gonna take another position here, long on the pound, just at 5 pips stop on it, so we can justify that. Then we'll have another go, and it might just stab down and stop me out. But if it holds here by some miracle and goes up, that'll be quite cool.
So that's another pair that's right at a pretty major quarter point there.
Where pound dollar?
1.7 on Euro NZD.
Oh, euro NZD. Okay. that went down, didn't it? And oh, see, that's nice. See the euro pairs, they're flying, aren't they? Flying to retest the highs. Pound pairs, meanwhile.
I mean that was you know, it's a potential long-term entry too
Yeah,
for a long position on Euro NZD.
yeah.
Like 1,000 pips over
1,000 pips, nice.
2.5 months, maybe.
Okay, cool.
We'll see.
That would be nice, you know. That would be amazing. Yeah. I think I got in a little bit too early. Too early on pounds. It might go up. It might just drop down, stop me out first, and then go up. But it's sitting there. It's thinking about it. Shame that, really. I was kind of hoping for a bit of momentum, but I've gone and added another position because it was only a 5 pip stop. I got in at 55, so that's not really going to do much. Going to add a little bit extra to this 0.5%. We're probably looking at about 0.75% loss. So that's okay. We'll have a go and see. And
That spike down on the New York Open did scare me. So I've been so close to my take profit for a while. You know, but when it came back up, that gave me hope though. Really good hope. Because he's still got imbalance still.
what's
Yeah,
going
that
on?
spike down on New York was just liquidity grab. It looks like, and it fell back down too.
I've watched the whole candle how it went, and it was just like clearly manipulated.
Okay, I'm gonna close my wrist down on that one position. I've just closed that extra position. That means then I've got one position left open still. I've just closed it break even because it's not doing anything. Yeah, this is not what you want to see. You don't want to see these big wicks like this. It's very messy. I was kind of hoping that it'd done all the wiki sort of price action. I was kind of hoping that it would be like clean price action. Wow, gold's just made a nice little spike up. Gold's been good today. Gold's bullish today, so you just buy the dips. Have a look at gold. Maybe you might be able to nick something on gold. It's definitely doing some upward momentum. I'm going to get stopped on pound. Oh, well, we might survive this. Don't ask me how, but we might survive it.
How you been though, Alex?
Yeah, all right. Felt a bit, like I said to you when I started, I felt a bit lost yesterday into today because last month we had a really good epic month, and then it's coming in yesterday. We're just in two minds. Should we trade? Do we need to trade? Should we take the rest of the month off? What should we focus our attentions on? And nothing's been too clean and clear. Stuff's been moving, but then it's short-lived. It moves, it pumps, and then it stops. So you look for the confirmation, and then you wonder if that's the confirmation. Wow, oil's just tanked. Oil's just fallen off from 45 down to 44. You alright?
I'm gonna
Crude
cook
oil.
some spaghetti.
That's the one I've liked.
Sorry?
I'm cooking spaghetti.
Cool, alright. Great. Yeah, good.
But you don't hear many people trading it. Ooh.
No, it's nice. I like it when I see the opportunity. I just don't really like.
One of my guys trades it. One of my guys, the guys that I started doing all this when we started doing Telegram, Jay, he likes oil. He's been trading oil.
Well, with America going into lockdown,
Yeah, I mean it made a really good pump up. We had an OPEC meeting yesterday, didn't we, on oil? So I'm still in this pound trade. Just this is what's annoying about pound. It's fickle. So instead of just going where you want it to go, it has to like faff about and do all this. It's a bit of an attention seeker. It came within 1 pip of my stop. So yeah, we'll just that. Yeah, 50s
My
must.
main TP on gold. I'm just letting one get this.
Oh, did you buy gold just now?
Top gold, so GPU.
Oh, okay.
Gold, I would have on a 15-minute chart, I had a nice little evening start. I would have sold it off there just for like 60 pips.
Okay.
Actually would have looked CP.
We are fading off the highs on the stock markets. If you look at the Nas, it's giving it all back. Look at the S&P, giving it all back. The Dow, giving it all back. Pump and dump movements. So this is the first day of the month, and there's no commitments with any of it. It's all very choppy. Even on the higher time frames, it's not too clear cut. I don't like any of that. I just felt that maybe pound would give us some upward momentum. So let's just stick with that. I don't know if this stops me, I won't do anything else today. But
GJ just hit the higher than
yeah, GJ did. It went up. So I was kind of hoping to see the pound, the other pound pairs follow suit. See, pound CAD and pound Aussie are both moving quite nicely up to have a go at testing the highs. Their euro counterparts are both having a go. It's just the one I picked today. See, I'm not. I gave the market to somebody else today. It feels like. I ain't no market today, but we'll see. We'll see.
you look at so many players.
Yeah.
How do you decide which one?
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, well, that one. If that one follows on with the rest of them, like we're looking for some pound strength, then I'd like to see pound have a little go to the upside. So that's what we were thinking. Pound was not moving as much as the others. The others had started moving, so I thought they gave the signal to the green light for pound to be bullish. So that's why we went on the pound dollar. Yeah. We could have taken pound CAD or pound Aussie or pound yen. This is just sitting at my break even again, pretty much. Hate waiting around, it's just boring. Yeah, so what should we look at? Should we look at anything else while we're waiting? There's nothing I can do with this, I'll just sit and wait, see what it does. I'd like to get it back up to like 133.80 area, 85. Take a nice little 20 pip or so. That'll give us like a 1%, maybe close to 1% or so on this trade. Just a small move. Not looking for anything more heroic than that.
Someone is asking Alex about pound CHF.
Yeah, hello. All right. Hello. He's here. He's just got here. Okay, you didn't say what you cooking. Right, okay, I'll let him know. Just do a little bit, because I don't know if he's hungry or not, but alright, I'll have a look. Hey Joe. Yeah, I think we answered that about the pound pairs. Pound pairs have been bullish, but I haven't looked at pound Swiss as a pair. I mean, I've covered all the other pound pairs. If they're all going up, then it's just a case of depending where you want to put your stop and target and just being patient with it like this. I mean, we literally went up a bit, got in, it pulled back pretty much as soon as I got in. I put another position on, but against my better judgment, I took it off. It's a shame really, because that had a 5 pip stop. I got in at 55 there, and that would have been up maybe 10 pips. That would have been quite a nice trade. But yeah, oh well.
Oh yeah, I'm in profit. Could you?
Yeah, it should be good, it should be good. But we'll see. What's the time? 3:42. Let's see if we can get up one little spike up or something. Take out these current current highs on the 15-minute chart. And pump up to like 80 or so. So I think first target will be like 70. I was thinking 72, 72, and then about 85. That would be nice. Oh,
Yeah, I see that happening. Just has to pass through this traffic.
just has to kind of just pump now and see it actually break up and not just do a double top and fail.
Right.
You know. I think stop loss wise, I would look at the 15-minute chart and consider moving it up to like 55, or or 50 to 55, just to make sure that it, we're giving this a chance to pull back, which it's done, and now we're saying, right, go up. If you don't want to go up and you just want to continue faffing, then we'll just stand aside and say, well, right, we chucked a bit of risk at this and it didn't want to do it on this occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But now's the time to do it, do or die, really, because it's US session. We're coming into the last sort of hour, 45 minutes of the London session. So let's put my stop, make sure my stop is up a bit. I'm going to tuck it up to like 55, it's about 10, less than 10 pips stop now. Depending where you got in, maybe 5 to 10 pip stops, that's all, nice and tight, and just see if it can break. I think that's what happens when you're trading like high lots, it can get quite, quite tight with the stops, you micromanage it almost. Certainly don't want to let this swing trade. Yeah.
That's definitely found to start doing that when I
That's
switch
good.
to
Right.
FTM mode.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm taking some off here. I'm taking some profit here. 71, 72. Here we go. There now. Just take some off there. And yeah, sweet. And stops to break even as well. And just leave it now. I don't know. Maybe get it up to 85, 80, 85. That would be absolutely spot on, really, money wise. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't keep the 55 on, but it was kind of an ad hoc trade. I didn't really plan it as best as I should have done, maybe. Which is, whatever. Oh.
Being a bit nervous there.
Yeah, no, I'm always very mindful about this. Is quite a new situation to be live sharing, and a bit conscious of people if they're gonna take a trade when I'm taking a trade, and if they're being influenced by me, I feel quite responsible.
Yeah.
I can chuck half a pip, half a percent at it and not really worry. But yeah, what's bugging me is a little bit like, should I provide a bit more structure, or I'm not sure. And also this is just like it's almost like a scalp trade, and is that teaching you the right way to trade? And so yeah, I think that's an influence.
No one should be.
I think regardless if we're copying you or not, man, it's it's good to just analyze what's going on, and if we end up losing the trade, it's still coming from someone who's undeniably successful in this field. So it's either way, it's not going to be a loss, even if it does hit the stop loss.
Right.
I've noticed. Yeah, no, it's good if you can, but yeah, I mean that helps a little bit, doesn't it? But you'll hear the tone in my voice change. I've noted that as well. There's like, right, I'm in a live trade, Alex, and then there's like teaching Alex, and I can hear it in my voice, and I can hear my sentiment and everything. It's noted as well. Nervous. There's nerves there. It's like stage fright. It's like going on stage. Like, okay.
For me, your accent totally hides that. If you have that, I don't see it at all. For here.
Oh no, it's there. It's there as a trader. We could. I think all traders do, if they are actually risking real money and they've got a live account on. I think you'll see it, or you'll sense it if like somebody like these social media guys on Instagram, they're trading and they put a live trade on, there should be something, some sort of emotion, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it.
I don't know. I don't.
I've
Yeah.
seen like property in their normal videos and stuff, but I've seen a couple when they're live trading and you can see they're not the same confident guy that they are in their normal videos. And stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But maybe you get used to it if you're trading live and you have an audience. Maybe you get used to trading in front of an audience. It's a whole different feel, I'll tell you that. So the reason I took the profit there was because the reason I took this trade quite simply was we were looking for it to break that 50. I know it likes a 50 number. And it came within 1 pip of stopping me out, funny enough. So I wasn't prepared to give it too much wiggle room.
Funny how someone said the accent might be hiding.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
That's very funny. But that is a thing, but it's funny to hear someone say it.
Yeah. You can appreciate where I've taken the profit as well, taken some profit off at this 618. It's just been clambering up. It's done a little, done a move in and it stuttered a bit and then it dropped all the way back down, stopped people out and then go up. So that would have stopped me out and then gone up, and that would have been one of those trades where we would be sitting, watching and going, oh, okay, stopped me out to the pip and then went up. I'd resign. See, and because it, do you know what was annoying about that as well? Because it came down to 50.8, something like that. It came down to about a pip from stopping me. Because it did that, I initially said, okay, it's tested that area. Now it's gone up a bit. I'm going to take another entry, a better position at 55. And I got in at 55. But then I second guessed myself and I said, well, because it's faffing, I best be sensible. I don't want to encourage people to start doubling up their losses or doubling up on their positions, and then just see it's
Yeah, as you did that, I was thinking, obviously, I don't do that in general, but like he's doing that from like an experience point of view. Let me let him do that. I'm not.
okay. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking if it gets up to 70, like here now, this area, I want to close one down and then leave one on, and that 55 to 70 area would have been a really nice, clean, risking 5 pips. It would have been perfect, like a 3-to-1. I know it's only a little scalp, but if you're risking the amount you're risking, and you've got a small stop, and then it goes up like that, that's a massive amount of profit in such a short window and short range. And
Euro NZD just hit the first target.
I'm watching that fly. All the Euro pairs are flying really nicely. They are clean.
In like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, right? And I've taken this dead trade as well. That's the other thing as well. See, so you it's not anything to do with anything more than looking at price action, always looking at what's going on. And unfortunately, I picked the dud out of all of them. It's the one that's not doing it. It's not going where we want it to go. I could have gone on euro dollar, which I absolutely hate at the moment. It's just, or euro yen would have been nice, but I
It
didn't.
does happen sometimes when you analyze a couple of trades and then you're like, I would have entered this, and then the one you do enter is just messing about. It kind of gets to your head, or did I pick the right one? And that's just where the patience comes from.
Yeah, just have to kind of be patient and just resign yourself to the fact that you've got a stop loss and there's your risk, and say, okay, well, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That was quite lucky, really, more than anything. And now it's back to my entry, pretty much. Well, no, it's just above my entry. So we're still in this, ever so slightly.
So to whoever took that Euro NZD trade, what made you take this trade?
D-Rock.
It's right at the 1.7 quarter point. It's actually, I'm just taking partial profit. I'm planning on holding that for several days to several weeks, depending on how it performs.
Wow. Oh, is this the one you said you put 1,000 pips on?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And, it depends on how it performs. I'll either be taking profit off, adding positions, whatever. I'm still learning
That's
too,
nice.
right?
Look at this. This is it. This is it, D-Rock. You've got your 30-minute, your 15-minute. Look at that move. Beautiful. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for something like that to give us some instant profit on the pound pair.
Yeah, like I got 40 pips, you know, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And the rest of my positions are at the stops are at break even. So
$1.70. Where'd you get in at?
I got in right at the start of the previous candle. I got in at 1.70104.
70.
70104.
7010. So you got in at 170.10 down here. Are you up like 50 pips right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got in at the start of the move. I mean, that's sweet. Look at that. It's perfect. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for something like that on the pound. Just got to be a bit more patient with it. It's quite clumped together. Each candle, like look at the 15-minute on the pound. So each candle's just clumped. But my algo software is just staying green and saying, you know, still bullish. But that's what I was looking for. Something like that would have been absolutely perfect. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Never mind.
56 pips profit, but I'm gonna hold that. Like I closed part of my position. I'm just gonna hold that for however long now.
Nice, really nice. Nice entry as well. Really good. Hello.
Oh, hello. It's just a reminder call for your dental appointment tomorrow at 11:15.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. She'll be there.
All right. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Somewhere sleeping.
Bye.
Okay, thank you for your call. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Is that someone really sleeping?
Yeah, George. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning there. He's fallen asleep. Hey, George, wake up.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, right? Well, now we've had it all. Well, I'm going to leave it there anyway. Well done, guys. Nice trading on that euro. Euro pairs have just broken and they're going to infinity and beyond. I'm looking at like a lead balloon with the pound. I think the pound pairs are going to be a bit like this because Brexit. Once we get Brexit out of the way, they might be a bit more free.
I think my bias is kind of opposite of what what is like US 30. It looks like we're bullish bias, but my bias for USD CAD is bullish. So that's impossible. So it's one of these things has to not happen. It's either US 30's tanking or I'm wrong.
On that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really nice to catch up. Actually, really nice to see you, and yeah, nice chat. And
I was just a bit laid back. I don't know why I was on chart. I was on chart for a couple of days. My birthday as well. Gave myself a day off.
no, it's really good. You got to do that. I mean, you can see I've been a bit. You know, if you have an epic time, you make some money, and then you sort of come in, you're kind of sitting there thinking, you feel like you're starting again from zero, and it's quite hard to take the first trade and to get.
That was me yesterday.
Yeah, so yeah, you can't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's that's it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Quite an interesting experience. But, a couple losses today, but made it all back, so I'm alright. See how the rest of the week goes.
Okay. So yeah, I yeah. Okay. Well, I'm 21. We're looking at 21 on pound on euro yen. That's nice on euro New Zealand though, isn't it? That's a really good solid move. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done. I think we'll call it a day. To be fair, I think George has fallen asleep, so he couldn't stay awake any longer. Pound is just continuing to do what we wanted it to do. That's all right. Get up to about 80-85 and we'll call it a day. But yeah, I've already taken some profit off that and I'm not fussed. Actually, am I even still in this trade? Let's have a look at this. No, I'm out. I'm all out. I'm not in this trade anymore. Done. But that was good. Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Noah.
Later, guys.
Cool, man. Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day and afternoon, and yeah, good, cool.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. See you later, guys. Thanks a lot. See you. Catch you soon. Well done.